Hey guys, it is Friday, February 15, 2009. I've got to tell you, I am really getting worried with the direction of America. I never thought I would ever see a time in my country like I'm seeing now. I never thought I'd see a time where there's so much disrespect for a president, a time where the media was so agenda-filled, fake, manipulated, and controlled. I never thought I'd see a time in America where people didn't want to protect their country, where people didn't want to protect their borders, where people just don't care. We, as a nation, are in huge trouble. We're losing our freedom, we're losing our rights. We have an invasion at our border, and we have an invasion of globalism, socialism, and communism invading Washington, D.C. and throughout America. And if people don't get real, if people don't wake up, if people don't realize what is going on and stop calling it a conspiracy theory or being in denial, we're gonna lose this country. This is really getting serious. I never thought I would ever see so many people living in this country who hate America. I never thought I'd see so many politicians in this country who hate their own country and hate Americans. We got big trouble. As expected, President Donald Trump will be signing the bill to fund the government and to move forward with building the wall. And in doing so, he has just declared a national emergency. And I know a lot of people are going to be on both sides of this very happy. Some people very discouraged, very upset with Trump. I mean, you can look at it both ways. He's going to get $8 billion, 1.375 from the bill. He's going to get $2.5 billion from the Department of Defense, $3.5 billion from the military construction budget, and $600 million from the Treasury forfeiture. There's a lot of bad stuff that basically the devil's in the details with this bill. And, you know, a lot of people are going to be unhappy with Donald Trump, and some people just believe this is a stepping stone and it's just one more move forward to furthering the construction of this wall and in some sort of progress. But yeah, there's definitely some bad things in here. The bill is going to allow for 55 miles of fencing. It's going to expand catch and release, potential of doubling the annual of low-skilled workers into the United States of America. We're going to have a pipeline, a pipeline of unaccompanied children and their relatives coming through, and stipulations on local officials to approve wall construction. And as most know, in these southern border states, they're highly influenced by the cartels. The politicians, highly influenced, law enforcement, highly influenced by the cartels down there. They have a lot of control in these southern border towns where this wall would be going up. And of course, they're not gonna allow it. Chokeholds on immigration enforcement at the border and the interior. So it is not good, but you know, I believe that Trump is trying, and that he's basically taking what he can get right now. But you know I know a lot of people are going to condemn him. They're you know, threatening not to vote for him, that he's going to lose his base. But I have to say, in defense of Donald Trump, where were the Republicans when we had the House and the Senate? I'm going to tell you where they were. They were bought and paid for and most of them have no loyalty to America. Nobody was helping Donald Trump a couple years ago. Where was Paul Ryan? Why isn't anybody talking about Paul Ryan? Why isn't anybody talking about when we controlled the House and the Senate? Why isn't anybody talking about the enemy here, which are these Democrats who really do not have any intention of protecting you or this country? You know, we have a lot of threats around the world. You know, we're made to be, we're always made to hear that Russia is this huge enemy of ours. Well, they're down in Latin America, right? They're friends with Venezuela. And yet we just have an open border. You have China dealing with Venezuela. You have China and Russia dealing with these Latin countries while we have a wide open border. As we know from history, Israel built a wall and it has worked incredibly well for them. But we have Russia and China in our backyard. We have Hezbollah in Latin America, and we have open borders. I do not understand it. We can all sit and pick on Donald Trump. We can crucify this guy, but at least he has done more than any president in my lifetime with at least trying to secure the border. He is doing everything with literally no help, while people spit on him, chastise him, demonize him. And this man is fighting a battle by himself. It's not a great deal, right? But it's all he could get right now because he's not getting a lot of help. Why aren't we demonizing and holding these Democrats accountable, the people in high positions, these politicians who do not want to protect America, who want to leave the border wide open? Do they not understand? We have over 70,000 people dying with drug overdoses in this country, where 90% of these drugs are coming south of the border. We have a gang epidemic. We have more unskilled and uneducated people coming to this country every day that the American taxpayer is going to be on the hook to pay. We have technology and AI coming in and replacing jobs. We're going to have millions of people that are unskilled in labor type jobs that are going to have no work. What are we going to do with all these people? Who is going to pay to house, to feed, to take care of the medical emergencies for these people, take care of their children, their schooling? Who is going to pay for all this? You and I are going to pay for this. So we can continue to attack Donald Trump. We can continue to blame him for all of our problems and call him a globalist. But the way I see it, he's the only one that is shedding light on these traitors. He's the only one exposing these Democrats for the socialist, communist, Marxists that they are, for the people that they really are, the people who don't want to protect this country, who have no loyalty, no allegiance to America. These people care more about the rights of illegal aliens from all over the world than they do their own American citizens. Shame on them. I think that we have to hold accountability where it needs to be. Donald Trump didn't create $22 trillion of debt. Donald Trump didn't allow 22 to 30 million illegal aliens into this country. Donald Trump isn't the cause of these problems. These politicians are, and it's easy for them to blame this president for everything, but I think we have to be really careful who we're blaming for what. We have serious problems here in America, and we have even more serious problems coming to America. Leaving these borders open for thousands of people every day to walk over, bringing disease, bringing unskilled, uneducated people, bringing violence, bringing drugs, bringing cartels, gang members, bringing terrorists, okay? We caught over people from over 100 countries across the globe last year breaking into this country. Imagine how many bad actors are roaming the streets of America. And at some point, as I've always said, we are going to have to deal with these people. We're going to see a time here in America where our environment is going to change drastically. And the big concern is most people here in America are completely unprepared. Most people in America don't even know how to cook. They barely can operate a microwave. What are these people going to do in a shit hit the fan situation? What are they going to do during an economic collapse? What are they going to do when the EBT cards don't work? What are they going to do when their government check doesn't come in? What are they going to do? What are they going to do when the invasions in these southern borders pick up, when we start seeing 1 million people coming over at a time? You think that that's not possible, but we're catching 60,000 plus people a month at our southern border. How many are getting in here, and where are they coming from? What stops a 1 million man caravan? What stops half of Latin America from just coming to America? If nobody cares, nobody wants a wall, nobody wants to support this president, nobody wants the military down at that border, we just believe that the whole entire world should just be able to live in America. You people who think that this is going to be a utopia, you're sadly mistaken. There is no such thing as a free lunch. And these people coming over here, maybe they don't threaten your job at the moment, but they're going to threaten a lot of people's jobs at the very bottom. You know, maybe some of the legal immigrants who came in who are working their way up, or people who are just starting out with lower medium type jobs, labor type jobs. What do you think it's going to do to those people? You know, maybe if you're making 80,000 or 100,000 plus, maybe you feel you're not threatened, but I guarantee you this will work its way to the top, and you're going to pay a severe price one way or another, because they're just going to raise your taxes to pay for all this. You're going to have people in the Democratic Party who believe if you make X amount of money, maybe you need to give half of that money to us to support all these illegal immigrants. Or maybe it'll be 70%. If you make $250,000 a year, maybe you should just give us 70% of your money. If you make $1 million a year, you give us 80% of your money. This is socialism. They're going to take from the people who have it and give it to the have-nots. How do you feel about that when you work every day, you're working 40, 50, 60, 80 hours a week, or you worked your way up from cleaning pools, doing landscaping, to owning the landscape company, or owning another type of company? These people want to take what you worked for and give it to somebody else. I don't care where you're from. If you're an American citizen, you came here, you worked hard, you worked your way up, and you took advantage of the opportunity, and you did well for yourself, why do you think you should have to give that to anybody else? It doesn't matter where you're from. No, if you're here as an American citizen and you work hard, it doesn't matter if you're black, brown, yellow, white, wherever you're from. Why do they think that they can just take your money and just give it to people coming over to this country illegally? Going back to what I was saying earlier, this was on Breitbart yesterday. This is another dilemma. A lot of these small border towns on the U.S. side are very heavily controlled and influenced by the cartels, and they will immediately stop any construction of the wall. This is also what we're dealing with. Nancy Pelosi, Democratic President of the United States, could declare emergency for gun control. So if you're going to do it for a wall, then why can't we do it when we have a president and we'll just take your guns? This is how dangerous things have gotten. We have people like Nancy Pelosi making statements like that, where when we get a president, maybe we'll just take the guns and use that for our national emergency. That's a great idea. That's a fantastic idea, Nancy. That's a great way to start a civil war. And then on top of it, you're going to be sending who to people's houses to confiscate their guns. Imagine how many people are going to die when you start sending government officials to people's homes to take their guns. You will have just started a civil war just by doing that. These people don't care. They want a civil war. Okay, I believe the Republican side, even though there's many Republican politicians who I think are complete sellout and traitors, but I will say for the Republican side, for the people side, they show much more control and restraint. I think the Republican people who are registered Republicans, I think that they're showing a lot more class, control, restraint, and composure than the Democratic side. These socialists are triggered by you wearing a hat, by you having a different thought or a different opinion, by you having free speech. These people immediately go into violence. And so Nancy Pelosi right there, she will trigger violence immediately if they want to play that game. So while we have open borders, this is another article that came out today. LA skyscraper shown exploding, a new ISIS promise fulfilled threat. This was 207 Wilshire Boulevard. It was on one of their websites where they're showing this, I believe it's a 62 or 67 story building blowing up with an ISIS member with an ISIS flag. And so, you know, when you have wide open borders, you can expect terrorism to be coming. And I truly believe at some point we are going to see an increase in terrorism in the United States of America. I truly believe that is going to happen. And maybe that's what it will take for this president to have the ability to close this border down and build a wall. Maybe that's what it's going to take. But shockingly, how fast we've already forgotten about 9/11, airplanes flying into buildings, and yet we still don't have a wall. We literally have no security at our borders, and we have a giant drug epidemic and gang epidemic continuing. I live in Riverside County, California. It's one of the biggest counties in the entire country. And being a sanctuary state, we attract a lot of illegal aliens. But this is what's coming to Riverside County. So let me ask you this. It's a lot of people. 80,000 applicants wait for Section 8 vouchers in Riverside County. 80,000 applicants. What are we going to do with more illegal aliens in this country when I have 80,000 applicants right now in just the county, not the state, just the county of Riverside, California, yet we're continuing to bring in more illegal aliens. We're inviting illegal aliens because of stuff like this: free money, free medical, free housing. It's insane, and it is so concerning with what is going on in this country. More Californians are considering fleeing the state as they blame sky-high costs survey finds. Another article today. This is just going to continue to push people out of states like California. And this is why states like California are going bankrupt. And this is going to just end so horribly for so many parts of the country because they become sanctuary states, sanctuary cities. They'll go broke, and then they'll want the US government to bail them out while they pushed all the money out of their cities, while they pushed all the skilled and educated people out of their cities into other places to where they could make money, get away from the crime. GOP, Dem spending deal provides amnesty pipeline for MS-13. These people are coming over. So, you know, it's really sad. It's really, really sad and disrespectful watching how the press berates this president. When I was watching it this morning, when they were allowing the press to ask some questions. And of course, Jim Acosta, disrespectful as can be, but there was another loser that asked a question after Jim Acosta, and he's literally accusing Trump that his statistics are wrong. He said that border crossings have decreased and that crime at the border has decreased. And Trump acknowledged him and said that that's a lie. And this reporter just rolls his eyes and shakes his head. You know, like he's smarter than the president of the United States of America. Like he has more information than the president of the United States of America. And it's so sad to see the fake news, the disrespect, the antagonizing, the demonizing. It's awful to watch these people. These people, how in the world can you believe that we've had a decrease of crime at our borders and a decrease in the crossings when we're catching over 60,000 people a month, where we're catching caravans of people, 300-400 people at a time? This is an emergency. Your country is being invaded and nobody cares. All we can do is blame Trump because the deal is shitty. But yet he's the only one that is exposing what's going on down there. He's the only one exposing the deep state. He's the only one exposing the Socialist Democratic Party, and he's all by himself. Ladies and gentlemen, we may not agree on everything Donald Trump says or does. We may not agree on this bill. but at least he's doing something. And if this guy can get some support and grab some traction, we can do something as a country. Because let me tell you what the next option is. It's going to be a Cortez, or it's going to be Hillary Clinton. It's going to be some socialist loser, okay, who's going to raise your taxes even higher than they are now, who's going to bring more of these people across the border, have you pay for it. You're going to continue to watch your cities erode and turn into Tijuanas. You're going to continue to lose more rights. Your life is going to continue to go downhill. We are at a crossroads here right now. Things are not great. We have a choice to make if we're going to do something about it, or we're going to stand by and just continue to blame everything on Trump and continue to do nothing while our country is being taken by these globalists, while it's being invaded by people from all over the world. We have a choice to make. What are we going to do? So guys, I got to get out of here. I got to get to work, make some money so I can pay taxes to pay for all these illegal aliens here in the state of California, the largest sanctuary state of them all. But in closing, I just want to say a few things. One of them being, you know, our politicians today celebrate the death and killing of babies. They celebrate the killing of babies while they're being born. They celebrate the killing of babies after they're born. This new law that was passed in New York with these politicians clapping and laughing and hugging and high-fiving and celebrating the killing of babies, being able to kill a baby after it's been born. These are the politicians we now have in positions of power in our offices. These politicians have no loyalty to America. They're traitors. They will do nothing to secure our borders, to secure our country. They celebrate death, not life. These people are doing nothing to protect America or human life. Remember, these are the people who hate Donald Trump. These are the people that hate you. The people that celebrate death, not life. The people who hate this country, hate you, hate God, hate your Second Amendment, hate your free speech, hate you thinking outside of the box and being an independent human being. A person that can be prosperous and independent, not dependent on the government. They hate that. These are the people that hate you and this president. We better wake up. And we better do something quick, because this country is in big trouble. I get no pleasure in making videos like this. I'm making videos like this because I'm very worried about the direction of my country. I'm worried about what's going to happen to you guys, your kids, what the future holds for America. We have a lot of people in the world that don't like us. We have open borders. Terrorism is coming to America. Economic collapse is coming to America. And all I can stress is get prepared. This is not to make you paranoid. This is to make you get prepared. God bless you guys. God bless America. We still have a chance, but we better put it together. We better come together as a country and defeat the evil that is sitting all over political office across this country, who hates the American dream, hates the American people. God bless you guys. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Talk to you very, very soon.